recently I've had this realization, you know, as New Year arrives, it's like middle of the winter. I'm bulking a lot. Like I'm a little overweight at this point. I gained like 8 kilograms since July, and at the start it was very subtle. I didn't notice it, but now I do. When I'm around girls and women in general, they react to me differently in a negative way. So let me give you an example. When I was around 7-8% body fat, something like that, maybe 10, under 10, that's for sure. Like, I shit you not, like every single girl was looking at me, no matter if they had a boyfriend, no boyfriend, whatever. At least a glance every time, and it was like a little bit disturbing, to be honest. It was a little too much. And I moved here. I was bulking already. I was around 12, 13, 14% body fat. And everything was, I thought it was like back to normal. But as I started to leave that kind of healthy range of body fat percentage, which means like instead of 14, 15, I'm more like 18, 19, it's not going well. Like, girls react slightly different to me, and I have to push myself a little bit harder to be more social with girls. I used to get dates in the sauna just because I like the sauna. It's like a very honest place. You can see who you're talking to. No makeup, nothing like that. No like push-up bras or anything. It's just how do you say this, swimwear, and that's it. And now girls don't really want to talk to me that much. It's like obviously they'll talk to me, but with empathy and with the mirror neurons, you like kind of feel a little bit more awkward. And so I kind of realized this once I started going to the sauna again after stopping for the summer, for the winter break around Christmas. And it's like super, super weird. And the problem is like, it's not that big of a deal, but because like you have a disadvantage as a start to talk to girls, it's like, it's also in your head. So it's like even gets a little bit harder. It's a little bit like the incels and I don't know, is it black pill? I don't know. Like the incel movement is like, they think they suck with girls and therefore they suck even more with girls. It's the same like that. But the good thing is, if you lose your body fat percentage, if you go, under 15%, you get like a solid amount of attention from girls, basically. Around 10% or under 10%, it's a little bit annoying, to be honest. But I mean, it was summer, so that's another thing. But it's not a good feeling that everybody's looking at you, especially if you have a girlfriend. Like, sure, you don't want to have a lower self-esteem because girls aren't noticing if they are kind of putting you into the more of the creepy zone instead of like, hey, this guy looks good. But and you know what the weirdest thing is? It's the middle of the winter, and still I kind of notice this now, where even though I'm clothed, like you wouldn't be able to see that I have a little bit of a belly. Well, I don't really have that big of a belly, to be honest. But still, I can somehow feel this situation, and I can feel it thinking back, like, hey, yeah, sure, like this happened before. Like, girls want to hug me a little bit less frequently. When I talk to them, it's a little bit shorter. It's easier to end conversations with girls. It's like that. And look, I don't have the best social skills in the world. Obviously, there is like a breaking of the law. There was a guy in the sauna. He was like fat, but because he was very, very social, he was able to kind of compensate this. I'm not that social. I'm okay with social skills, but I rely on looks as well, especially when it comes to communication with girls. And yeah, it's definitely a disadvantage to have a higher body fat percentage, even though they can only see your face. You can kind of see, like, my face is a bit puffy. I'm hiding it with a beard pretty well, because now I have like a big beard. Yeah, so a little bit of a looksmaxing advice, I guess. But you have to suffer to get to a new potential. I didn't want to stay skinny, basically, because I had some stomach issues. That's why I lost so much weight, and I had like already started from like 10% body fat, and I just went down because I did these hard calisthenics workouts. If you want to do the same, like amazing burpee workouts made by Iron Wolf, just search Iron Wolf on YouTube. You'll find the most amazing, most impossible workouts that you can follow, or perhaps can attempt to follow. And yeah, that guy's a beast. Yeah, so yeah, maybe in the future, as I'm reflecting on this like bulking journey, I will want to stay at around 15% or maybe slightly under 15% body fat, even if I have like a girlfriend, or like even if I'm in a committed relationship, because this isn't necessarily about other people. This is about how you feel about yourself. If you sense that you aren't getting attention from other people, if other people either dismiss you or kind of distance yourself from you, that can feel like shit. And especially if you're like a bigger guy, like, I mean, tall and fat, it's like you are a threat because of your size, period. Obviously, if you're smaller, you can like still, chat people up, because you're not as much of a perceived threat as somebody who's like 2 meters tall. I'm not 2 meters tall, but you get my point, right? If you get a chance to bulk and to see what your body potential is, I hope you will be able to stay at a lower body fat percentage than I did, because I certainly didn't watch what I was eating during Christmas break. I was like, I'm gonna eat every single cookie, and I did. Yeah, but this is a very interesting journey. I found that I prefer martial arts, to be honest, to bodybuilding, but since I've already committed to doing a bit of weightlifting and bodybuilding this winter to bulk up and to gain more muscle, I'm gonna see it through, give it an honest try, see the whole thing through, do the bulk, do the cut, and sure, I can implement a couple of, martial arts, kickbox, Muay Thai workouts when the Muay Thai gym opens, but I will always, look at it rationally, give it an honest look. So far, what I'm seeing in a gym is like people when they're done with their workout, it's like they're not feeling that well. I can see it on their face. When you do a kickbox session or any type of martial arts session, everybody's like so excited, so happy after it. It's an amazing thing. Maybe it's because of the cardio, but most likely it's because you're actually like learning how to defend yourself better. And it's a very productive thing. And when you do bodybuilding, I mean, it's not that productive. Obviously, you're gonna look bigger. You're gonna be able to lift more weight, perhaps. But you'll just lose it like that if you stop eating enough. And yeah, that doesn't feel like on the same level of helpful as literally learning to take punches from people. If somebody would attack you, you wouldn't want to be able to lift them up. You would want to be able to defend yourself against them. Yeah, so that's my 2 cents on this. And I am going to do some pool workouts today. My back feels like shit. I hope I didn't get injured. I didn't have too much time yesterday and I didn't warm up properly. I know, rookie mistake, but I'll get to the gym soon and we'll see what I can do. Cold shower to increase lifting performance. Before the workout, I do like a cold shower. I was checking out my statistics on Fiverr, where I offer my coaching services, and I see you guys. Like everybody was hyped for the new year, and now now nobody wants to actually change their life. Like what? Why would you do that? You know, changing your life doesn't start with New Year. It's not a New Year's resolution. The New Year's resolution is just a trend older than social media. If you actually want to change the life that you live and transform into somebody who is better, stronger, faster, more competent, just start the day you decide you want to start, the moment you decide you want to get rid of your old habits, your old addictions, not wait for something else to happen like a new year. Like the new year doesn't really matter. Of course, there is like a very, very tiny boost that you get. It's not worth even waiting one extra day for the New Year's Eve. Oh my lord. Anyway, I just had to get this off my chest because it just hurts me, man. It just really does, because it's like I could help so many more people if they were just more open-minded. And the sad thing is, I talk to guys who have been through different porn addiction coaching programs, and the things I hear from them are terrible. Like the frameworks that the coaches are pushing them through aren't really based on science. Sometimes they are based purely on religion and identity shifting. So that's why I'm writing this encyclopedia of NOFAP, or NOFAP encyclopedia, because it's like you have to know the basics. You have to know the fundamentals of how to quit porn, and you aren't going to find them in a 5-10 minute video online. Even a 2-hour guide isn't long enough to make you completely comprehend how you can actually change your brain, how can you also change your habits and change your perspective, your identity. There are a lot of things that go into successfully quitting from porn, and more importantly, you have to make sure that even if you slip, even if you relapse, you are able to restart, because you will already have the knowledge, you already have the tools. Because like, yeah, getting to a streak that's like 90 days is nice, but getting to a streak that's 90 days over and over and over again, it's so much more difficult, because you actually have to learn how to treat yourself the right way and how to not subsidize your negative emotions and try to numb them with porn. Right? That's one of the main things that I'm talking about in this encyclopedia. But yeah, instead of religion, you can actually like look at the science, and sort of based on science, and in this case my own experience and the experience of clients that I teach, I can actually kind of map out how you can completely quit porn. So yeah, at some point in the very near future, I will publish a field guide based on this encyclopedia, because obviously I have recently started writing this. I'm only at like page 20. I'm only in the introduction phase, and so there are some good knowledge that's already available to me that is like pretty fundamental, and I am very certain about it. So keep looking forward to that. Obviously, it's not gonna be free, right? Because if you get a free guide on how to quit porn, that's great, but you're not committed to reading it, you know? So I guess my question is, how much money do you have to spend on a 10-15 page document in order to properly read it and pay attention to it and take the actionable steps that are written on it? What is the amount of money for an average person that is enough for them to give up maybe 1 hour, 1.5 hours of attention for this product? Because my goal is really to help people, not to just throw shit out there that isn't gonna stick. Because even though the knowledge is like worth hundreds of bucks, nobody's gonna fully read it, nobody's gonna pay attention and take away their key takeaways from it if it's not for sale for money. If it's a free stuff, like no one's gonna really listen to it, as we have heard. And well, as I have experienced earlier with the full guide. I literally made a full guide. It's 2.5 hours long. It's on YouTube. Nobody cares, bro. Absolutely nobody watched it. Nobody rated it. I got like 1 or 2 comments. It's like, when you give something to the world for free because you want to make the world a better place, it's like, there's no reaction. And when I sell my coaching services for like hundreds of dollars, people are actually buying it and they're reaching out every single week to get coaching. It's just mind-numbing because like 80% of the knowledge, okay, maybe 60% of the knowledge is in the field guide. And what I do in coaching and accountability is just to literally tailor it to the specific person and to hold them obviously accountable for their actions and their progress. Oh man, it's a bit of a rant. So yesterday I met an Englishman on the street here in Hungary, and he asked me for money because he got robbed. It was a pretty weird situation, but I gave him a little bit of money. But he also like hoped or wished for me to get out of this country because it's like a shithole. I mean, I kind of understand his perspective, and it's very weird that somebody asks you for money and then tells you like you live in a shithole. But I get it. I get his point of view for sure. So yeah, here we are. I have just took like a bit of a nap. It was like raining. The air pressure was super low. I got so tired. And so in the past couple of days, I have been working very hard on the accountability program to make it even better for my current clients and the future ones. So yeah, I've been working like 10-hour days for a couple of days now. I got a little bit burnt out because, it's nice to work a lot, but when you have something that you do that is a little bit hazardous, like porn addiction recovery, especially when you're kind of advertising it on social media, you can get into some, how do I say, dopaminergic times. So I got onto Instagram and I started looking at what's popping. Because of my Instagram research, I lost some momentum and I felt like I was doing nothing. So yeah, just like with the relapse journal that I have, I made like a free journal. You can download it. It's a top link in the description. It's completely for free, but you will probably not download it, as I've already said, because if I don't charge money for it, even though it's really, really good and it has the right steps, you're just not gonna read it. Yeah, and I even have examples of my previous relapses or slips every time I made the journal and what I did exactly. So I think it's really, really valuable if you're looking to quit porn. Anyway, if you're already on NoFap, if you've already quit porn, so I recommend you this. I was doing this Instagram kind of research, but you know what kind of research that is. It's like you're looking at posts and then you get a bit carried away, and then half an hour later you're like, oh shit, I'm just browsing Instagram. So I did a similar thing. I did a bit of a journal and I had to step back because I realized I wasn't doing anything productive. But with that I somehow lost the momentum. I don't know what happened, but yeah, that's what's up. So I have now rested as much as possible, and so from now on I'm gonna again head out to the gym. Yeah, that's it. Did some chest, and what else was there? Yeah, I did chest yesterday, so today is back. I'm running a very simple gym routine. It's just workout A, workout B, push pull, and just some legs next to them. Just 45 minutes max. Always do your stretches. Yeah, so that's really sweet. And the workout that I would actually recommend for somebody who's struggling with urges sometimes is just do 100 push-ups, and to wash off the sweat, do like a fully cold shower for like 1 minute. After that, you can turn on the warm shower. It doesn't matter. Do a full cold shower. That will get your energy to levels that you wouldn't expect. And I do this regularly, not necessarily for urges, but especially for times where I feel like I need a lot more dopamine, where I feel like I need to browse Instagram. And I'm like, hell no. I drop my push-ups. I time it because it always helps to beat your past personal record. And I do it in like whatever, 12 minutes, 10 minutes, something like that. And then the cold shower, it's just a chef's kiss. It's so perfect. It's the perfect antidote for the modern world's dopamine boosts from Instagram, from TikTok, when you work and you have to check shit out, and then you come home and you feel like browsing, you can do this workout. You will burn some fat as well. It works really well. Yeah. So I kind of shaved, well, not really shaved, but removed some hair here and here, and my face looks different. And you know what I said about how girls were reacting to me before I left for the gym? Well, it seems to be different now. Yeah, I don't know why. If you guys know why I'm getting attention all of a sudden, let me know in the comments. Because I'm not sure what I did. I just, like, literally, it was annoying me that I had these random hairs here. And yeah, the kind of attention, or like the way people in general react to me, kind of changed. Weird.